Hello friends, good morning. If it's morning where you are, good day to the rest of you. I'm actually in Yosemite Park right now, right outside of it, and it's raining. So if you hear some pitter-pattering, it's not giant mice, it is rain on the roof. And I'm telling you that I'm in Yosemite right now because I'm leaving. So that kind of brings me to what I'm going to talk about today is safety tips, or at least things that make me feel a little bit more safe on the road, like sharing my location. I usually don't share my location. That's one of my rules. I don't tag it on social media until I've left the place. I don't tell people on YouTube where I am for safety reasons. I don't know who you lurky people are. I'm just kidding. I trust you guys, but there are some creepy people out there that I'm just trying to keep at bay. So I don't share my location until I've left a place, and that's been super helpful because there have been plenty of times where I will post a picture and say, whatever, Kernville, California. And I'll have 10 to 15 people be like, oh my gosh, I'm right next to that. We should meet up. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, sorry, I already left or whatever, which isn't a bad thing. I love meeting up with people, but I also love to be in control of when and if I meet up with people. So sharing my location on social media is a no-go for me until I've left the place. And then I feel a little bit safer about that. The other thing I do is I always share my location with someone. So my parents have my location. I use just the Find My Friends thing on iPhone. I don't know what you Android people use, but I'm sure there's an app for that. So somebody with an Android, please comment below on what it is. Yeah, so I share my location with my parents. I think it's more of like a safety buffer for them. They like to know where I am. And I think, well, if I get kidnapped, then at least they'll know the last place I was. They could start there. So that's kind of my thinking with that. But yeah, and if you don't want your parents to have your location because you're like, you know, I spend so much time at strip clubs and bars that I just don't want my mom to know that. First of all, stop doing that. But second of all, share with a friend or something where you're like, nah, you're not judgy. You're not gonna care where I am. So I just like to know that somebody knows where I am at all times. So choose a friend, choose a sibling, choose a relative, whatever it is, and add them and just let them know where you're at all the time. And it's just kind of fun. Every once in a while, my parents will be like, oh my gosh, you're in Yosemite now? That's so cool. I'm like, yeah, I know. This is rad. Anyway, so that's another one of my rules. My third rule on 3, yeah. My third rule is that I don't let people in my camper. So there's this thing, might not be the same with regular vans. I know my friend with a step van has this problem, but older, for me specifically, older dudes freaking love Toyota Dolphins. I don't blame you. They're cool. I think it's a nostalgic sort of thing, but they're always wanting to see the inside of it. And I don't like that. I don't let people in here, and it's not necessarily dudes, it's girls too. If I don't feel super confident about my relationship with you or who you are, or I don't know you, then I'm not gonna let you in my camper. It's my house. It is cool that I renovated it, but it's also my house. So it would be weird if you just had some random person walking down the road and was like, knock knock, can I come look inside your house where you keep your precious children? See that, Ike? Protecting you. You'd be like, nah, probably not. The good excuse I have, because I'm such a people pleaser, that I feel bad telling people that they can't come into my house. So I just kind of scoot them over to YouTube and say, oh, but I have this tour that my friend did, so check that out. It's super thorough, and you can see everything. Or I can show them pictures on my phone or whatever. But I just don't like to put myself in a small enclosed space with a person that could shank me. I don't know. Or they could be really kind, but I'm just not going to even put myself there. I carry a dog, so that's helpful for me. He can be intimidating, surprisingly. He doesn't look like it, but he could be, probably, hopefully. So he barks and he growls and he does all that kind of stuff when somebody's too close to the dolphin. Hopefully scare the living bejeebies out of you. So I keep him with me. Lots of people keep bear spray. I know that's just like an extra line of defense, like gives you time to go get a knife or something while you're spraying somebody's eyes out. I don't know. Another one I heard was like taking old boots, like old beat up man boots, and then setting them outside of your door. And then it makes people think that you have this big burly dude in there too. What else? There's like NRA stickers or beware of dog stickers that you can do. Again, make people think twice before breaking into your car and kidnapping you or whatever. The other thing I do, if I park in a space that I am not sure of or is a little bit sketchy and I'm just not feeling super stoked about it, I don't leave my camper. Luckily with this, the cab is up there, so I just come back here and I can keep all the doors locked and everything. I just don't like to really let people know what's going on in here if I'm not super comfortable with where I am yet. Then in the morning when things are light and I can see what's happening, then I'll kind of look around and meet people next to me or whatever it is. But yeah, if I'm not feeling stoked about places, then I just don't get out of the camper. It's as easy as that. When I first hit the road, I was way more afraid. Way more afraid. And I think it kind of just comes with time. And I think it's maybe something that dudes don't think about quite as often as chicks do. It's silly. We have just like an extra layer of safety precautions we have to take. And I'm trying to get us to the point where we don't have to. I know it's coming from like a very sweet place. But I've sat down with my dude friend that's doing the exact same thing at a coffee shop. And I was talking to this lady and she's like, oh wow, that's crazy. How do you feel safe on the road? Do you feel safe? And I'm like, why aren't you asking him that? Like, it's just this, it's a thing. It's a thing. So let's get past that. Let's get more chicks on the road because it seems a little bit silly that like we already have to feel afraid. And I don't like that. So these tips are for you. Anyway, I did feel really afraid the first little bit. So my first portion of the trip, I drove to my grandma's house because that feels safe. Yeah, so I went from Oregon to Seattle. That was my first like night in the camper by myself and I was like a little bit on edge. And I remember thinking that every noise outside the camper walls was like definitely an axe murderer. There was probably 7 axe murderers out there at one point. This is so embarrassing. I was in my grandmother's retirement gated community. No, there were no axe murderers. I was being super silly. I woke up the next morning and there were squirrels and they were really cute and it wasn't a big deal, but I was still scared. And it took me having nights like that to kind of be like, oh my gosh, Aubrey, you're gonna be fine. So I recommend when you first hit the road, stop at a friend's house or drive to a relative's house or whatever. Someplace safe where you feel like, yes, I'm still gonna sleep in my camper or my van or whatever it is, but I want to know that there's somebody there in case I need to go running. The other thing that I did is I use this app called Harvest Host. They have a website too, but I use the app and basically it's like this whole database of wineries and breweries and farms and golf courses and places you can park your RV overnight. It's free when you have this app or you have like a membership to this app. And then you just go in to the winery or whatever it is and buy a glass of wine or buy a bottle of wine or whatever it is you can kind of afford. I'm broke, so I was buying glasses of wine places. I drank a lot, I'm not exaggerating, a lot of wine the first couple of months on the road because I needed to build my confidence in where I was sleeping and staying overnight. So Harvest Host was cool because you can find a location. I know where I'm driving to. I know where I'm going to be setting up. I know that there's going to be people on the property, which made me feel a little bit better. And it was cool because I got to meet some really awesome people, and they'd give me tips on where to go next and places to check out in the area and that sort of thing. And there was wine. So, easy. And I actually reached out to Harvest hosts. So I asked them if they'd be willing to do a year membership with whoever wins this giveaway. If you win, you get a Harvest host membership, and it's really cool. And I don't expect you to be a solo female traveler or whatever, just anyone can enter. But yeah, I just want to get somebody else out there and make it a little bit easier for you. And I'm just so thankful that you guys are here. There's going to be rules in the description below that I highly recommend that you go read all the way through. But otherwise, just subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to me. Like this video. Comment below. Yeah, okay. Comment below like a safety tip or something. If you don't have any safety tips, just say hello. I don't know, but I would really, really love if this video could be like a cool hub for people to come to and just like sift through the comments for like more ideas of how other people feel safe on the road. Yeah, how cool would that be? So comment either just saying hello or a safety tip if you have one, and then I'll choose the winner in a week. Again, this will all be, the details are in the description below. All in all, I think fear is very much an energy suck if you're trying to get stuff done, or if you're just trying to experience life a little bit more fully. So yeah, I just try to take like proactive measurements so that I don't have to feel afraid in the moment. So that's kind of where all these tips come from. Use them if you want, don't if you don't. That's fine. That's all I got. I miss you guys. I haven't made a video in a while, and I'm sorry about that, but I have so much footage to go through and share with you now that I'm out of these places that I was in before. So I'll do kind of like a California recap here shortly. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for being here. I'm so stoked. Ike says hello and goodbye. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Comment below, subscribe, hit that little dingy bell in the corner if you want to get notified when I do more videos, because they're so few and far between. Anyway, goodbye. I love you all. Thank you so much.